Welcome back to another farm rebuild update, whatever you want to call it. This time we're doing trenches and I've got fiber. So we're now at a point where I have to think a lot about the future of the farm, in particular where everything goes. So we have got power, we have got water to some extent. Actually, some of these trenches they are dug because of water. But I know what you're thinking, and yes, I am doing it. Yes, I am putting fiber. So I have here 200 meters of 6F single mode fiber, which I was recommended to get. More about that later. And I have 300 meters of outdoor CAT6. Yes, it's outdoor because it's going to go on the ground. Gel filled, etc, etc. So yeah, heavy. Those two are going to go in all of these trenches. I'll show you in just a second more about where everything's going to go and why. But we have about 200 meters of trenches or more dug so far. It's spectacular. So yeah, I think let me just walk you through where things are going to go and how we're going to connect it with fiber and CAT6. Right, so this trench here is obviously going to the house, and that's because we need water in this. That's our backup water supply coming from the bore or the well. So that's going to come through here, and yes, there's also going to be conduit with fiber and CAT6, which means we're going to have fiber and CAT6 into the house. Then that is then going to go, I'll turn around here, this way, and here's the fiber and the CAT6. It's going to go over there and join up with another trench which is there, right? So yeah, let me go over there and I'll show you from that side what that looks like. So we were just over there, so the CAT6 and the fiber is going to come this way here and then down to here where there's a T-junction, and uphill is a pit. So I'll just walk up to that so you can see it. So I've now learned that this pit is where you connect things and put them in. So that here is going to be for, you can see the conduit is already going in there, so that's the comms there and that's the electrics, and then that goes up to the pump shed, which is up there behind the bore tank, because there's going to be a new house here, roughly where Corey's digger is, because we lost two, well, residents really, two habitable buildings, so we're going to build one big one up here. So that's why we need fiber and electricity and water and comms and everything from here to go in to there. Yeah. And then also you can see the conduit here keeping going. It keeps going up there, white, and then that's going to go up to the pump shed. So we're going to have fiber and CAT6 in the pump shed, because before that was relying on wireless connections, right? And then downhill from the T intersection, so we'll just go down here. You can see there's Pat the plumber man. He is fixing up the water pipes, which is going to go in. So you can see the big fat water pipe there. That's sort of like the backbone of water, if you will. That's going to go in here, go down there, and that's going to water the entire front of the property. That's why that is so thick. But this also has conduit, and that goes down to that shed there. And now let me just go down there and then show you from there on. So there's Pat again and Corey. So that trench goes down, hey, that trench goes down here, and then the conduit's going to go into these pits here. So there's again one for comms and one for electrical, because that ends up in this shed, which I have now dubbed the power shed. It's not completely finished. You can see there's a few bits here that still needs to go on, but it's almost there. I've even added a couple of G6 instant cameras there. You can see it. They're just perched on there, but they work for now. I am not going to show inside that shed just yet, because that will be maybe the next video, maybe the one after that. But a few of you guessed what's in there, and you saw it in the last video anyway. Because then we can then get comms, fiber, CAT6, etc. from here to, that is one corner of the new shed. That over there is another corner of the new shed. And there's the new shed pad or site. It's enormous. So that's coming up as well. And of course, that's going to have fiber and CAT6 for everything else. And that is awesome, because that means all buildings will be connected by fiber and CAT6. Because there's been quite a few of my previous videos over the years where I have connected, say, the office, which was right here, with the house, which is right there, with a, say, a Building Bridge XG, a 6 gigabit wireless link. And there were, I'm going to guess 40 comments, 50 comments of people going, why didn't you just dig? You should just put fiber in, it would have been easier, yada, yada, yada. It wasn't at the time, but I hear you. I wasn't ignoring those comments. I was just saying, no, you're wrong at that particular point in time. And now we're getting fiber everywhere. It is quite exciting. It's one of those things that I'm really happy that we can now do. We can actually put in a proper farm fiber backbone of many Gs of network. Because that means I don't have any problems communicating or transferring data between any of the buildings that are here, which was the issue before. Even the pump shed will have fiber connection, because you need fiber connection to your pump shed. I know. All right, let me show you a few other things that have also changed since the last update. So here's some good news. Yeah, well, one, we got grass, it's growing, and the one remaining robot mower, which is the Hoki Neo Mow, the one with the LiDAR, is running, and it's just fine. Yeah, it's got a couple of little battle scars, which I'll show you, but yeah, it's running, and it's mowing. It's the first mow after the fires, so this is exciting. Look how much grass there is. It's fantastic. All right, let me just show you kind of the battle scars on it. See how the wheel is a bit wonky there? And also the back of it, there's a nice gap right there, which I'm hoping I can just tape up and it'll be all right. But yeah, the wheel is a bit wonky, but it seems to all work. It hasn't had any influence on actually mowing. And you see the other side is all that, there's no gap there at all. So yeah, that's the only thing that seems to be a bit fire damaged, melted, but it's mowing. Now there's a lot more trenches than just for fiber, and that's because of water. So I don't know, if you live in the city, for example, you don't really worry about water. It kind of just comes to you. It's provided by the city, you pay a water charge, etc., etc. When you're in country Australia, there ain't no water. We don't have water anywhere. So we have a bore, right? That's our sort of backup and gardening and sort of watering thing. And then we collect water off the roof of the house for drinking water. And then the bore is the backup for the drinking water as well. So we had that tested a long time ago. It's fine, you can drink it. It tastes a bit weird because a lot of minerals in it, but it's okay. You can filter it and it'll be fine. So that's our backup. That's why I'm calling that the water backbone of the farm. So this trench here is for water, because we took over an old farm when we moved here, more than 10 years ago, and we didn't know where anything was, right? We just sort of figured out, and we found taps. Like 2 years later, we found taps in bushes and stuff. Like it's a big property, and there's a lot of stuff that we've cleaned up, and that's just how it was. Which also meant we don't know where the water's coming from, as in we don't know where the pipes go. So when everything burnt, we lost a lot of the infrastructure that actually put all this together and made it work. So we didn't have any water for the house to start with, so we fixed that immediately, or as fast as we could, so we could actually move in. But we haven't had water down the front here in any of these taps, there's 9 taps or something, for 2 months now. And we've had to dig a new trench because we couldn't figure out exactly where the water was coming from, or it ran into something that didn't exist anymore, so it was just out in the open, or we just want to have upgraded water delivery, or water supply for this part of the home. So let me show you some of the things that we found when trying, well, I say we, it's Pat the plumber, have found when we've been trying to figure out where everything goes, obviously, because I've been part of the investigation, because he needs to know what I know so that he can figure out where the water goes. But yeah, let me show you some of the things we found, and this is what we're dealing with. I think we fixed most of it, but let me show you. So I'll start here where was standing, because that pipe there goes up to a tap up there. But of course, because we put proper pressure to it, suddenly there was a leak here. So we had to fix that. And then we couldn't figure out where the water was coming. It seemed like there was a blockage, so we had to dig up and fix the water here. Yep, so there's another bit of thing. And then up here near the tap, we had accidentally put an earth peg into the ground and pierced the water pipe. So that's been fixed as well. So yeah, that's the first lot of fixes here. It gets better. So when the electrician dug this trench here, he also cut this pipe here. And we didn't really think it was used for anything. And it turned out it isn't, but it sort of seemed like it was. So that, we think, was coming from there where the wool shed was. That was the office and guest accommodation. So we tried to hook into that, which is why there's another pipe there. And that didn't work because, well, it was actually going nowhere. We thought that one was the one that was going to go down the hill. There's another trench, but it wasn't. Which is why there's now a big fat 40mm hose here that's going to go down past the power shed and down the hill there and around and over to where I was standing before, which was just over there. So yeah, we had to dig, well, another trench here too, because we couldn't, again, figure out where the water was coming from. So we have to put in new water. So this is going to come from the bore and the pump shed, which is up there. I'll zoom in for you. There's the pump shed and there's the bore tank. And so that's now connected through down here. So that's lovely. But then Pat put pressure to it and suddenly water started bubbling up here. And we're miles away. That's where I was standing before. So we're way, way up the hill. And suddenly water was coming out of this. No idea what that was for. But it just came out of the ground. I don't know what was here because the house was in front of it. It's very odd. And then he plugged that and then this thing started leaking, which was in the ground over here. Came out here. There's another one there and there's one there. So you had to dig all that up all the way down there to figure out where that's going so we could plug it essentially and make it stop spewing water out. So that's now defunct. We think that went to a trough down there, which is decommissioned anyway. So yeah, fun. As soon as we put pressure to things, things start happening. And up the top here, we have the pump shed, which now has a tap. That's very exciting. And this new improved 40mm pipe is going into it. And in here, it's all cleaned up because Pat's been busy. So we now just have the transfer pump, which is there. So that's the one that pushes water down the hill. Well, down the hill. Water comes from there, from the tank. And the tank is here and has also got a new liner. So this is all up to scratch. We just got to put a roof on it. So that's all been upgraded. Some of it was burnt as well. And also in here, we now have electrics. So the switch is still there. There's my switch flex. That's still working a treat. And I've got 8 power points because you can never have too many power points. They looked at me funny when they put 4 in. I said, can I have 4 more? But anyway, here we are. 8 is good. There's the sensor for the bore pump. It's not working currently, but we'll figure that one out. So yeah, it's very exciting. We have upgraded our water infrastructure massively, mainly because we had to, we didn't have any, but also because, well, why not? So yeah, we're getting water down the hill from up here from the tank. So things are moving ahead on the farm. A lot of fiber going in, a lot of CAT6, and I do have a video planned on how to terminate fiber and all that sort of stuff, because I don't know how to do that. I've only done very, very little with fiber. I had put fiber in my driveway or next to the driveway, but of course that's all burnt, and I don't even know if I have the footage either. So I have a very generous person coming to help me, teach me and show me how to put all this fiber stuff together, how to terminate it, how to put it properly in the pit, all that sort of stuff. At least that's the plan. So that is in the plans. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen. And of course we've got grass. We have a mower that works. That is very exciting. There's one mower that works, but another mower has already arrived that I'm going to test out. So there's a video coming for that, and that looks amazing. Big chunky all-wheel drive thing. Very cool. And we got water. So if you enjoy my updates, if you enjoy the content, I've started doing the more non-update videos as well, because we're sort of getting into a groove now. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you part of the community, and maybe you get something out of it. Comment down below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And yeah, I really enjoy the community that we've built. So please subscribe, click like, do whatever, but be part of it. And I will see you in the next video. That's likely. Okay, bye.